Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to our sports show. Your host, Driver. All right, we're counting down to the 2026 Daytona 500. We are 87 days away. Now, for you that are new to the countdown, several years ago, Larry McReynolds there on track on XM Satellite Radio does his countdown every day on X. And I thought, you know what? Let's take that just one step further. Let's count down and profile the card numbers that are associated with those days. In NASCAR, currently there's 110 possibility of card numbers, 0 through 99, and then 00 through 09. So whatever day it is, that's the number that we are profiling that day. Obviously, when we get under 10, we'll do 00, 0, 01, 1, etc., 1 through 9. Obviously, some card numbers have more stats than other card numbers. Like you go to driveraverages.com and type in the card number you're looking for, you can get the exact history of that card number for all three series, Cup, Xfinity, and Truck. Yes, I'm still calling the Xfinity Series. I know it's NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, but the last race was ran under the Xfinity banner, just like folks still call the Busch Series. So it's one of those things where, as time goes on, we'll start calling it by the new name once we run a race or two. So what I do is kind of run it out to the top 5 or 6 drivers for each car number, each series, and then kind of talking about, now again, this is not an all-inclusive list. This is also not all-inclusive to that driver. So for example, Buck Baker has 419 starts in the 87. He has more starts than that in Cup. He had 635 career starts. So I'm just talking about what this driver did in this particular car number. Some drivers, like Dale Earnhardt, he was more known for the 3 than he was for the 2 and the 15, etc., etc. So now, car number 87. In the Cup Series, 784 starts, 27 wins, 185 top fives, 285 top tens, 26 poles. The first time the 87 was used in the Cup Series was June 19th, 1949. The last time the 87 was used was June 28th, 2025. 51 different drivers drove a car with the number 87 on it, and only 2 of them won a race. During that 784 starts, 277 times it was Chevrolet, 178 Toyota, 144 Oldsmobile, 65 Chrysler, 53 Pontiac, 43 Ford, 22 Dodge, 10 Buick, 7 Plymouth, Lincoln, and Mercury, which Lincoln Mercury is kind of a, they go together because they're both kind of a Ford product, but again, they're separate vehicles at the time. 3 starts each. Kaiser, yes, you heard me right. Kaiser. Never heard of it until I started doing this research. 2 starts. Cadillac and Packard each start with the number 87. That's all in the Cup Series. Xfinity side, 540 starts, 19 wins, 86 top fives, 142 top tens. First race was March 3rd, or March 13th, 1982. The last race was October 4th, 2025. 49 different drivers drove an 87 in the Xfinity Series, and only 2 won a race. Truck Series, 110 starts, 1 win, 5 top fives, 9 top tens. 15 different drivers drove in the Truck Series, 1 won a race. All right, Cup side, Buck Baker, 419 starts, 29 wins, 166 top fives, 253 top tens, 11.4 average finish. This was when Buck drove his own car, the number 87. He drove for Carl Keycaver, he drove for some other folks, but this is when he drove just for Buck Baker Racing. Joe Nemechek, when he drove for Demcar Racing, his own. 222 starts, 1 top 5, 6 top 10s, average finish 35.3. Buddy Baker, Buck Baker's son, 38 starts in the family number 87, 9 top 5s, 14 top 10s, average finish 15.0. Randy Baker, yes, the other son for Buck Baker, 13 starts in the family number 87, average finish 26.7. Leroy Craig, never heard of him until I did this, 9 starts, average finish 24.6. There's been 2,700 and something another, 2,900, whatever. Let's look that number up and say, how many different NASCAR drivers have there been in NASCAR history? 2,997 different people started at least one NASCAR Cup Series race. Now, only 1,946 started 2 or more. So there's a good chunk of 1,000 drivers there that only started one NASCAR race throughout NASCAR history. Obviously, 3 more we get to 3,000, which would be just absolutely insane. Another reason I started doing these kind of videos is because of on XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, the afternoon show, Speedway with Dave Moody. He does his Unfiltered Legend series. We're going to use people from the sport, legends, people just involved in the sport, and kind of they tell their story in their words. The very last question he asked every single one of them is, "How do you want to be remembered?" And a lot of people say different things, about what I've done in the sport, this, that, and the other. Richard Petty said, for me at least, one of the best ones ever. I just want to be remembered. I kind of took that like, there is a lot of people. Next guy, matter of fact, Leroy Craig, the next one here, Castles. No one talks about these drivers in 2025. They're not champions. They didn't win a race. They're not just, even some of the race winners aren't as well known as other ones. We don't talk about them. And, as the elite underneath the Hall of Famers of our sport, they still need to be remembered because what they did, they drove during the early years in NASCAR, and they helped build the sport to what we have today. Just like the drivers of the 70s and 80s and 90s, the Dale Earnhardts, the Rusty Walls, the Mark Martins, it's all them built the sport to what we have today. Drivers today. You think about the young drivers, the William Byron, the Christopher Bell, Carson Kosafar, Connor Zillich, Corey Heim, those drivers are building it for the next generation. And so you need those kind of, and even some of the lower guys like a Cole Custer, like a Cody Ware, they're still doing their part in the sport to carry the sport forward. And so trying to remember some of these drivers who we don't talk about that much. That's some of the reason I started doing videos like this. I did have a whole plan about doing a profile on all the champions and whatnot this year. Didn't happen. I am trying to get that planned out next off season and do the same type of countdown, but kind of just deal with mainly just the cup and kind of deal with some of the owners and whatnot. So that should be interesting if I can make it happen. Neil Castle, 6 starts, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, average finish 12.0. Jim Pascal, 5 starts, 1 win, 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s, average finish 12.2. On the Xfinity side, Joe Nemechek, 408 starts, 16 wins, 74 top 5s, 126 top 10s, average finish 17.8. Kevin Conway, 14 starts, average finish 25.9. David Ruderman, 12 starts, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, average finish 18.7. Steve Jones, 10 starts, 1 top 10, average finish 17.6. Kyle Busch, 7 starts, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, average finish 16.9. Ron Fellows. Now, we talked about road course ringers and some of a comment that was in the past. Now they're called SVG and Connor Zillage. Road course ringers, these are road course experts that NASCAR teams will bring in to run just the 2 road course races. Obviously, as we've added 5 to 6 road courses on the schedule, drivers have put more effort into it and kind of became their own road course expert. But back in the day, we didn't have that. Some of the smaller teams would hire guys from Edison to come run a race. Ron Fellows was one of those guys. 5 starts in the Xfinity Series in the 87, 3 wins, 4 top 5s, 4 top 10s, average finish 9.2. I think at that era, I think Joe Nemechek drove the car. He wasn't that good at road courses. So you bring a guy in like this to get those wins. On the Truck Series, Joe Nemechek, 39 starts, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, average finish 25.9. Chris Jones, 32 starts, average finish 29.9. John Nemechek, the brother of Joe, John Hunter namesake, 15 starts, average finish 20.0. Conrad Burr, 5 starts, average finish 24.2. Ron Fellows, 4 starts, 1 win, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, average finish 10.0. That is car number 87. We are 87 days away from the 2026 Daytona 500. As always, thanks for watching our Sports Show. Have a great day. Have a great day. Urban Sports Show, your YouTube leaders.